it actually brought tears to my eyes just to watch this man perform.
It's been the best performance of the year by far.
This was similar, but in a way that it kept my interest. If you're looking at Mohanlal's filmography, it's the best thing since Dhrisyam.
Okay. Should it be? I know it's a bit early, but India's kind of entry for the Oscars. Hello and welcome to the Pan India project. My name is Rohan and some of you may know me as the Indian cinema junkie. And today we're here to review Mohanlal's latest film, Thudarum. And once again, Anu is back in the studio. Welcome back again.
Thanks for having me.
It's like your fourth time now, but
fourth time.
Yeah, it's great having you here. So why not? So Thudarum, Mohanlal's up-and-coming film has just released, and before we give our opinions or anything, we'll just do a talk about the story without any spoilers. So for me, how I would see the story is we're introduced to Benz, right, who's played by Mohanlal, right, and he's this driver, right. We see him driving along, hopping, dropping off other people, XYZ, and for me, I think where the story, what they so with me, for my experience or whatever, I didn't see the trailer before going into the cinema or anything.
That's crazy.
So I kind of went in that kind of blank
Wait,
canvas.
you didn't watch anything?
No, literally. I don't know. I didn't see literally anything. I know you mentioned it on the earlier one that it kind of gave you Dhrisyam vibes, but that was the only thing I kind of went off.
Yeah.
And then I watched trailer after the film, and then I guess they don't even give much away, right, in the story, in the sense that all we see really is Mohanlal and his car, and then the police take the car.
Yeah.
And the how he gets it back, why it's all happening, forms the rest of the story, would you say?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because that's all you can say without ruining the thing.
Literally, that's the thing, though. And because in the trailer, it was just first, I don't know how long, if it was a 2-minute long trailer, 1 minute, 45 seconds was just lighthearted, was just but then there's a quick change. And I think that's as much as we can say without spoilers, is that there is a bit of a change in the tone of the movie.
Yeah, I get, because the trailer didn't really give any, at all. Because even when we're going into the film, what the first half is and the second half is completely different, right?
Different. This is going to be so hard to review just because you can't say anything without spoilers.
Yeah, now it's a bit more of a challenge because that's exactly what we just said, right? The trailer's done literally a perfect job of not giving anything away.
Yeah.
But without spoiling anything for now, what was it that you liked about Thudarum?
Mohanlal.
Yeah.
The way Tharun Moorthy, so the director, did this. Well, he was the only one that did press for this movie and all the marketing and stuff, because Mohanlal and Shobana didn't do anything. But he was saying how the audience for this movie he called it the sleeper cell audience, which is pretty much people that love Mohanlal, that celebrate his wins, and then every time he has a loss, they're it's okay, the next one. That is the kind of audience. And it actually brought tears to my eyes just to watch this man perform the way that he did. Every emotion that he did, I bought it. And I was like, oh my God, that's I felt what he was feeling. So Mohanlal is through and through the best thing about this movie. He carried it on his shoulders. Yeah,
his performance was incredible, basically.
Incredible.
Hands down, for me, it's been the best performance of the year by far. I think Akshay Kumar in Kesari 2, he was good, but I think this just tops it. The crying and just the way he conveyed himself from first half to second half. With his performance, the first half was a bit lighthearted, and then that switch, and it's oh damn,
and you can see slowly, for example, in the scenes leading up to the interval when he was in the car and he was a bit nervous, right? I don't know about you, did you feel nervous? You were just I don't know what's going to happen. I felt that
mystery.
Yeah, the anticipation, just purely based off how he acted it out and his reactions and his responses to things that was happening around him.
I don't know if I felt that way, but I think for me, watching it as it played out, it's what is the main thing of the story, because there was no kind of sense of what is the big turning point in this film. But then they've done a brilliant job of not, giving it to us straight away.
Yeah.
Or like trying to, make it predictable in the sense that what's going to happen now. It's like, like as you said before the intermission, it's like, oh damn, so this is where the whole direction's going to go. And we only find out just before the intermission. And it's fine. It's not like it was slow or anything. Like the way they crafted that whole film is excellent.
Because they didn't, like, how we talked about how in Emperor 1, like in Emperor, sorry, it was like the world building. Like the first half of the movie was world building. This was similar, but in a way that it kept my interest, because it just kept layering on, like how you were talking about Sukshma Darshini, how they just layered it. That's exactly what they did with this. They just added little bits and bits and bits. I don't think they could have gotten rid of any of it without taking away from the story. Like, it was so concise and just so gripping, even just from the first frame itself.
Yeah, because even with the first thing, you're not sure until where is it fits in, and then they show how it fits it, and it's just like so perfectly crafted. Yeah, that's one thing, and I think another thing that I would say they've done a really good job on is the villain, the main villain. Let's say, just because you didn't like the guy, like when you're watching the film, you're like, this guy's got to go, man. Like, come on,
right.
Like, you just despise him.
Even before, like before we knew he was the villain, right? He acted in a way that you were sort of creeped out. Like, you were like, he's nice, but what's really going on? And that is like a testament to how well he acted, because you could tell that there was a little something wrong.
And even the other police guy, Benny, like, he was bad from the get-go, but then it was like you didn't like him from the start. So I think they did a really good job in how all the characters kind of fitted in, like the police guys fitted in and stuff. So you can't really fault this film. Like, I'm gonna ask still anyways, like, is there anything that you wasn't really for you or you didn't like? Like,
no.
This is the thing.
The only thing I would say is that I wish, though it is Mohanlal's movie, it's through and through Mohanlal's movie, but I wish Shobana had a bit more of a role.
Do you think? Okay.
Because in the scenes that she was in, she was insane. She was amazing, but I just wish we saw more of her, and that's like my only gripe about it. Like, I don't think anyone acted terribly. I don't think it was none of that. Everyone was so convincing. Like, through, I literally can't say anything bad about it.
You can't fault it. The only thing for me, like, I don't know, maybe because I like the mask and stuff. For me, I just wish Mohanlal during the fight scene just kicked his lungi up to tie it. But maybe that's not what they're going for. So, like, it's just a me thing. So I can accept that they didn't do it. But then it's like that. I don't know. It would have just been like, I would have been like.
No, but you know what you got instead? He straight up took his munda off.
Okay. What, towards the end?
Yeah, it was in one of the fight scenes. He straight up took it off and then he like retied it.
Oh, I think was that in the prison? Maybe it was in the prison.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but that's not that deep, man. That's just my preference. But other than that, you 100% can't fault this film. I mean, this is why I say I'm an Indian cinema fan, not a movie critic. That's what I kind of go by.
I think we need to maintain that.
Yeah, that's what I'm going by.
Not expert.
No. but now, out of 10, what would you rate this film?
I gave it a 9 out of 10.
Okay.
Purely because I don't know what... I've never given a movie a 10 out of 10 because I don't know what it would take to just craft the most perfect movie of all time. So just for that reason, not because of any pitfalls or shortfalls of the movie itself, that's why I would give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I've gone the opposite. I'm giving it 11. I broke the scale for this one. You know, I just loved it, and I think for me, it's definitely been the best film of the year. And it's not even just that. Like, best film of the decade. I'm just trying to think anything that came out in 2020 that I was like, I think this has been. I think we've had KGF 2. That was good. Don't get me wrong, but I think this was just something else. Like, and I think after KGF 1, no film's been able to beat that. But I think this has been the best film after that. Like, I just love this film.
I think out of Mohanlal, like if you're looking at Mohanlal's filmography, it's the best thing since Dhrisyam.
Okay.
And I still that's okay, that's why I haven't given it like a 10 out of 10, because Dhrisyam is top tier.
Yeah.
Like it comes so close to Dhrisyam. It like what Dhrisyam would have been if it was like a mass, or like if he had actually gone a different way about it instead of like trying to get out of what he did, then that's what this movie would be. But you're still comparing it to Dhrisyam, right? So that's why I'm just like,
okay. Oh,
yeah.
See, because I haven't seen the original Dhrisyam. So,
That's crazy.
So maybe for me, I mean, I've seen the Hindi one, but then I think you're right about the Dhrisyam element in this film. How I kind of see it, if Dhrisyam and Lucifer had a baby, mix it up, this is what you kind of get.
This is what everyone was expecting with Empuran. Like, the level of, like, this movie would make any Mohanlal fan the happiest person ever. So that's what everyone was expecting from Empuran. I wish this is what Empuran gave us, because compared to Empuran, like, this was just in all ways. And if you look at it, the budget for Empuran was 180 crores or something. This is made on a 28 crore budget.
I think they'll make it in like what, couple of days.
They'll make it, but like obviously it's not going to get highest grossing or like all of that. But I feel like it's a more honest earning
and film. But then that's the thing. I don't think Mohanlal needs to worry. He doesn't do it for box office figures, you know. Like, yeah, I think just hands down, definitely film of the year by quite some mile.
This is what happens when, like, obviously movies are marketed towards mass and like the greater audience and stuff, but in between all of that, you often forget what a powerhouse performer Mohanlal could be, given the right script, given like the right story, the right direction. And I feel like they perfectly used all of that and harnessed every single one of his acting capabilities in this movie, because all of like his earlier like filmography, like I mentioned, Tanmatra, Brahmaram, like all like Devasaram back in the day, all of those, they are the same thing, right? Like, that's the movies that show you the kind of actor he is. And I feel like that's the exact sort of vibe that you get from this movie as well.
Yeah, I mean, with Thudarum, do you think, I'm just trying to think, because out of all the Indian films from this year, should it be, I know it's a bit early, but India's like kind of entry for the Oscars at the moment? Because I think it's not too niche, but it's not too commercial. And the way they've just crafted this film, I don't think there's another film that comes close to it getting nominated. I don't think we've had that big story. Don't get me, like, Dragons probably could be another one, but I think this just hit a bit more.
It could be. I doubt it will be. It could be. But also given the story, like, and the message behind it, right? So we can't actually say what the message is without giving spoilers.
Yeah, that's it. We're going to go into, like, the story now, so there will be spoilers coming up. Yeah, so we're going to go through the story in, like, a lot more
literally
kind of
stop
contents.
watching now if you don't want spoilers.
Yeah, or you can, there'll be chapters below, so you can just fast forward to anything that doesn't have. But I think from now on, the whole thing pretty much will have, like, spoilers, unless it says in the chapter it doesn't have spoilers. So basically, at the beginning of the film, right, we see that landslide. And that landslide, you know, happens, and then the police find a body in the car. They're like,
but we don't know what they've found. Yeah,
no, exactly that. Sorry, about that. Yeah, the guy was just like, sir, they found something. And then throughout the beginning of the film, we're introduced to Mohanlal driving and stuff, and it's kind of all banterish, isn't it? Like, it's a bit
so
funny
good.
and stuff. And you know what's one funny scene in that film is like when he's like to Shobana, his wife, and in the film it's like, do you know what, let's go out for dinner. No, not for dinner, let's go eat outside. What does he do? Takes them outside the house. That is so funny. Like, just that way they've done that was hilarious. And then just throughout the beginning, we're introduced to all the characters. Like Ben's basically knows, right, who's Mohanlal's character in the film. And then then we see the car, right? The car gets taken away from the police, and Benz is like, "It's my car. Like, what are you doing? Like, I want it back. I want it back. I want it back." And then we're introduced to the one of the evil cops, Benny, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, "You can't have it back. You cannot have it back now. You know, we need it still and whatever." And then there was a bit of, back and forth between them. Like, Benz was not giving up. Like, he loved that car. And I think even throughout the film, his son, right? This is another thing. So Benz has a son and a daughter. And the son was like, "This car is old. Like, what are you doing?" Like,
everyone's like, "Get rid of the car, get rid of the car."
He loved it so much that he was not willing to.
That's why I thought that I was reminiscent of Maharaja a lot throughout this movie. Have you watched Maharaja?
Yeah,
right?
with Vijay Sethupathi.
Do you kind of see why,
like, with the dustbin and stuff?
With the dustbin and like how like the emotional attachment that he has to the dustbin. Also, shout out Vijay Sethupathi.
Are we gonna go for it now? Yeah.
Huh?
Let's talk. Okay, let's talk about this now. Oh, do you want to talk about this now?
He was a cameo in a photo.
All right, we're gonna save this for later then.
Yeah.
Yeah. we'll save this for later. But yeah, so they go a bit of back and forth, and then the main villain, George, goes to Benza and it's like, "It's fine, you can take it, but can you drop the three of us to Seditian, who's another cop's wedding, right?" And then
Faasil's brother.
Is it actually? What, in real, like?
Yeah.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
Wow. Never knew that. And then from there they go to the wedding and stuff, and then the four of them are in that car, and then all of a sudden, boom, switch.
Vibe
Just before the intermission, George is like, "The reason why we called you here." Oh no, not even that, because Benz was asking, "Where you take me, why?" And then that's where the switch changes. Benz is like, "There's a dead body in the car," and he cooks up that story that Seditian's sister likes this other guy, and then it's like, and Mohan's like, well, he's stuck, he's hopeless, right? And then the intermission happens. Like, now, what did you think? How did you think the first half played out?
I loved Mohanlal and Shobana have done like so many memorable movies together, like Thuvana Thumbigalu, Pavitram, like they've done so many. So I think a lot of what people were excited about and enjoyed about the first half was the fact that you got to see their on-screen chemistry. I loved them together, like as husband and wife. As someone that's watched those movies, then you kind of think, "Oh, this is what married life would have looked like for them at the end of that movie." Like at the end of like one of those old movies, is what married life would have looked like. So in the first half, I loved their dynamic. I loved the whole family like dynamic that they had. They were all very close. I loved how carefree, light-hearted Ben's was.
The comedy from Mohanlal was
just
hilarious.
like little things, man. Like little things that he did. Even if when it came to like him and Shobana like doing the sari, like they were like,
and he pulls her in.
Yeah, just like little things like that. I thought it was just like so perfectly done that it actually like warmed your heart a little bit to watch it. And obviously, like leading up to the interval, you sort of started to see the cracks.
Yeah,
show.
But
it was like one crack at a time, like until you find out after the interval what happened. Like it was just like small little cracks, and then it just goes.
Yeah, it just went. Because that's the thing. I think throughout the first half, you didn't know where it was going. Like, what was the main thing? I mean, to be fair, even in the first half, we don't really find out what the main.
I called it though.
Really?
Yeah, I was telling you because I went to watch with my mother-in-law and her friend, and I told her, I was like, this is what happened.
But then this is the thing, because there was another character we were introduced into the first half, which was a guy that works at the mechanic. And another key thing I didn't mention before, Mohanlal hits his son, right? Because his the friend takes the car out, and Mohanlal's like, obviously that's his like car,
that's his baby, yeah.
So that was one character, the son, and the other character was the boy in the garage, who they mentioned was hit the police guy in the beginning.
Yeah.
So that body, I think we didn't expect the body. I don't know, because I'm just thinking maybe it was slightly predictable, but not fully. Like it was not like, oh, I knew it from the start. Like it was just like, okay, like
no, but,
damn.
But my sister said the same thing. She was like, as soon as, you find out that there is a body in the car, you quickly do think it's the son.
But then did the son go missing during the second half, right? Not the first half.
No, so they were beefing in the first half. So like he was obviously trying to get through to his son. He wasn't responding to his phone calls. But then you were kind of like, oh, but he's responding to his mum. Like,
so we didn't expect
So
him
we didn't
to go
expect-
like whatever happened to him. But then that's where the whole second half is, right? So during the second half, we find out it's the son goes missing, and Mohanlal or Ben finds the wallet, right? And I think for him, that's when it kind of realized, like, where's my son?
do you think that was a bit of a plot hole?
No, I don't think so.
Because now that we're in the second half, because you later find out that he was actually not, he was shirtless, right? Like when he was.
Oh yeah, what they do to how they show it all lay out at the end, yeah.
But like he was shirtless when he was killed. Where did the wallet come into play?
Maybe it just dropped out by mistake, or
Into the boot of the car. That was like a little
I'm
thing,
trying to think.
I quickly thought about when I was watching. I was like, how?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Because he took the wallet in the shower, right, and he's just started crying. Yeah.
Oh, bro.
So then, so we find out the son goes missing, and I think we find out that it was the son that got taken, but we didn't know why. So that whole question was still in your kind of head, was like, why did they take his son? What was the reason behind it? And then throughout the film, we see they basically try and frame Ben's, right, for the murder, because they say, oh, you got into a fight, so you tried to do whatever, and they take him to the police station.
I think you're jumping a little bit.
What did I miss?
Because it was somewhat like by, I don't know, act of God that landslide even happened.
Oh yeah, the landslide happened, you're right. But I think that body, so Mohanlal does find out it's his son, and then the landslide happens, right? But that landslide, I think Mohanlal placed the body in the police car.
He did.
Yeah, for them to find it. That's where it kind of.
They don't show that.
But I think they make good use of our brains as well. You know that the Mohanlal obviously found it, and put the body there because he wanted to get his revenge basically. But it was him against the police.
Because, dude, like, this is what I mean by I like felt everything. I felt so, I don't know, for some reason I felt like claustrophobic when he found out that it was his son. And he can't tell Shobana.
That's the one thing he never told her.
He could never tell her, like, because she'll be like, how do you know? And then he'll be like, oh, I'm complicit to this like crazy crime. I was the one that was standing there when we buried him. Like, he couldn't say that. So he was like, how could I get my family to know that he died without telling them what I did?
Yeah, because then he gets arrested. And then, do you know what? It kept getting... And then from that, as soon as he was in that prison, this film went up to, like, God tier at this point. Like, the last hour now. So he gets arrested. But then George is... I know. See, this was a bit... Not bad, but, like, how they showed it. Like, they took Shobana and the daughter, right? And they... Like, similar to,
Dhrisyam.
How in the Hindi one they beat it's just
same thing.
Yeah, so they basically do the same, and then I think that's when the second time they get beaten up in the house. This is jumping forward a little bit, but towards the end, I think that's when Shobana knows that he's done nothing wrong. But then before,
but even the first one, I'm sure, sure, because the way they were sort of questioning them about like the things that they were questioning them about was clearly not true,
because they tried to frame Shobana and the daughter as well, didn't they?
Yeah, and then they were trying to say that the son had a
thing for the daughter,
and that blah blah blah.
Tried to make a move on the daughter or whatever.
One thing that we forgot to mention is that he was a stuntman.
Who more?
Yeah. Which explains why this guy in his middle-aged guy in a little town in Kerala knows how to fight like that.
Because he tells us why he leaves the job and stuff. But then also another thing, maybe let's mention it now. A big thing about the film was that was not actually his son. But then they showed that he accepted him and stuff. Yeah. So then that's why they tried to cook that story up as well, right? You know, because it's like Shobana's son from the first marriage and all of that. And then they try and kill. So Benny and George try and kill him in the prison. And then we get to that prison scene where Mohanlal basically fights back, which was like absolutely
so good.
amazing. And then we just see after that, just to the end, he gets out, basically kills Benny, right? And then he threatens George in the sense that your daughter's here. And then we just see Ben's get his revenge, you know. Basically, George, Benny die. And then this is where it all gets revealed, right? As soon as George dies, we see George's daughter just sit inside the house
Just
and do
watching.
nothing. She's just watching, and then she drops down and crying. And I think that was like, I think in my head I was like, you've seen your dad die when you're not doing anything. But then this is where they explain it so well, because they have, I think it's the voice of the son, right? And he's talking to someone, and we're like,
he's talking to her.
yeah. And then that's the thing. It's like, oh, who's he talking to? Because they don't pan it out straight away, and then you see her there, and then it's like, you know, where this is like, you know, this is what it was about, right? It was they liked each other, and then her dad found out, and he hit her, right? He was like, what are you doing, you know, and stuff.
But he also killed his wife, her mum.
Did they mention that?
Yeah.
I think and then also with that, because they had to frame the son, isn't it, right? They couldn't just do it, so that's why they used the whole drugs. Oh, that was a big thing. They said that they found drugs in the car, right? So they had to frame him, but I think by accident they killed him, right? He didn't mean to hit him, but what did he say? Once you've done it, you have to go through with it. You have to go through with it.
But like this like George Sar guy, like there was just so many parts where I'm just like, why are you the way that you are? Also when he's like, hi. And I'm like, he's literally in the police car. Like, why are you saying hi to every single person? He was saying it to, like, Shobana, like, everyone at the house. Like, he was just, like, saying hi to everyone. But, like, why I think he, like, hit him with the helmet.
Yeah, the son.
And then he sort of knocked out. And then he's like, yeah, but let me just finish the job now.
So he just, like, puts the bag over him and stuff. And then the thing is, we get the funeral scene. It kind of just doesn't end after we see the funeral scene, and Mohanlal basically can't stand it. Right? He's not even at the funeral.
He can't even be there.
He's with the bodies, and he just like screams basically, and he gets arrested. Like just that whole scream and like the way they just like the camera work was just like zoom out, zoom out, zoom out. Like that was just.
Also, he killed George in the same way. George killed his son.
He suffocated George, right?
Yeah.
So that whole thing, it was like, honestly, and then they just gets like arrested. So I feel like it was a very like Dhrisyam and Lucifer like type of kind of film, but like that whole story was mental. And then they pan to the social message, right, which is about honor killings, and they were like out of like, I don't know the exact number, but it was like out of X, you know,
it was like 300
out of like 5X, you know, honor killings, only like 1X or like get taken. Well, it's a bit of algebra there, but that's what they were just trying to show. So, and do you know what, to be fair, I would never have said that there was no social message attached to it, but then right to the end when they announce it, then it's like,
you're like, oh,
like, you know, like it's like, oh shit, so there is like a message.
But
see, they don't shove the message down
they
our throat.
don't.
So it's not like, fine, we know that it's going to be about an honor killing and something.
Yeah.
But it's just the way they've crafted that whole film from start to finish. It got better and better and better. Literally. And then the police scene came and it was like, yeah, wow, like honestly.
So it was just like, you're right. Like it just kept building and building and building and building until... Like, the last scene was a little underwhelming for me because I was like, I kind of wanted to see where it went. Like, I kind of wanted to see if... I mean, obviously he wasn't going to get out of jail, but I kind of, like, wanted to just see the end of that. So that was, like, another little gripe that I had, if I was to say anything bad about it.
Yeah, because, I mean, the ending, we just see him get arrested, and it's like, that's fair. I mean, he was not going to get away with this. So maybe that's the good, like, the way they did it was, like, let him actually suffer the consequences of revenge.
But did he really care about the consequences at that point? Oh, my goodness. No. Okay, can we just quickly talk about Mohanlal's, like, acting for a sec? Because, like, that I feel like there are so many bits in this movie that he's just done insanely. For example, like when I say, oh, did he even want to take accountability for his actions, in the sense, I don't think he was pissed at the fact that he had to go to jail, because like, you know, when he found the wallet, he was literally like choking him, like he was.
Oh,
just,
did he
like,
not like choke up and
yeah,
shout like?
he was literally like, and you felt that, right? And then in that bathroom scene, you
And he just
felt
started
that.
crying.
It's like, what's the point of living when this is happening?
Yeah, and especially the police have done it. You
But
know,
he
like
didn't. Yeah. He couldn't say anything because they were like, oh, if you say anything, like,
yeah, the crying scene was definitely memorable. That one in the shower and the one at the end where he just like screamed and then the
in the
camera
shower,
zoomed
like
out.
when he fell,
Oh yeah.
and then he was like trying to get that speck of blood.
Oh, from
Off
his
his
shirt.
shirt.
Yeah, and his wife was like, "What is that?" And
What
then,
is that? Yeah.
and then I think another scene was the prison scene when he jumps out that glass window, like whoosh. Cool.
You know what? You know what I like the most though? It was the scene in the lodge in Chennai, and you can see George's shadow, and then you just see Mohanlal's shadow, like with his like shoulder, like approaching. Do you remember that? It was
No,
just
I
like
think-
purely just shadows, and you see, and it's just like goosebumps because you see him like approaching, and you know like what's going to happen.
Like the whole thing, even like the rain when he's standing outside in the rain, like there's a lot of
Dude, I'm gonna watch it again.
really.
I'm actually gonna watch it again. I was like, because there was a couple of hard scenes to watch. For example, Sudesh in the
Oh,
lodge.
his farm. Oh, right. More.
I was literally like dug into my mother-in-law. I was like, I can't watch this. So that was. Despite that, I would watch it again purely because of Mohanlal. Just to see him like with the most natural acting ever. Then like I think that it's a testament. You can't switch, like, first half is
Lighthearted,
lighthearted
funny.
and you can see the switch.
And it's done
It's
it
so,
so well.
effortless. Like it feels really effortless. Like there's a part where I know everyone loves to give Mohanlal shit. Sorry, this is gonna be like a full Mohanlal hype thing, but like everyone loves to give him shit for like his Botox or the fact that he's aging or something like that, and I'm like, you couldn't tell, like the way even like his cheeks, they did like a close up. I forgot which scene it was. They did a close up, and his cheeks literally tremble. Like to get that level of like detail is like a testament to him, and it's a testament to the director for actually like, you know.
Yeah, like his performance by far has been. He needs to win the award. Basically, is what I'm saying now. Like, I don't know. I mean, we're only in April. Like, we're now nearly 4 months out, but I don't know if there will be a film. Thinking about the upcoming lineup of Indian cinema for the rest of the year, I don't think there is going to be a film where it will be as hard hitting as this, in the sense that there is like War 2, there's Coolie, but those are going to be like mega, you know, masala movies and stuff. But I'm just trying to think from like, no, I don't. I think he absolutely deserves this. And this is the thing, he's had 2 films in the space of a month, nearly, not even like just over a month, like 27th of March, right? And like literally, even under
a month,
literally under a month. And to deliver for me 2 of the best films in 2025 back to back within the space of the month is just incredible. Like I actually can't, but like for even an actor, for me personally, I can't think of a time through all the Indian cinema I've kind of watched where an actor has delivered 2 back-to-back films that have delivered like really good experiences and everything. Okay, box office is a separate topic. I'm not talking about box office here, but just in terms of the quality of film, like let alone in the same year, but this was in the same month. Like just any actor, I've not seen it. Maybe Akshay Kumar when he had Welcome, Sing is King, that kind of run. But this is different. This was way better.
But because this movie was actually delayed. So this was supposed to be released before Empuran. Right? And I think they made an insane decision.
They made a correct
decision.
decision.
They made the right decision. And I remember at the time they were like, oh, it's because of the OTT deals. Like it'll, I don't know, one project will affect the other or something like that. That's what like Tharun Moorthy was saying. I think it was supposed to come out end of January or early February or something like that. But I am so glad they did it the other way around. In terms of if we're talking about box office, in terms of box office, Emperor's gonna make everyone's paychecks. You're chilling. Like you actually don't need to worry. But in terms of like Mohanlal's redemption, and in terms of like which film is gonna make people's hearts like heavy or like actually touch their hearts, that's this one. And I'm glad they picked this one for the second movie instead of Emperor.
Yeah, no, I think I can completely agree with you, because our minds, if this film was this good and it came out in Jan, I don't know, Emperor maybe would have been a different story onto how we reviewed it, you know. But like, if you're talking about box office, so there's this post. Now, it just says all-time third biggest opening in UK and Ireland, so for Thudarum. But I don't know if that's Malayalam cinema or is that, you know, like Indian cinema in general. Because if it's whichever way, that means Mohanlal's like killing it now.
Dude, it low-key it low-key beat one of Emperan's records. So pretty much Emperan, marketing hype, PR hype, all of that
Interviews
stuff.
and all
Pan
of
India.
that, yeah.
Mohanlal was doing interviews in Tamil, in English, in Malayalam, and everything. This one, no hype.
Didn't need it
whatsoever. But it beat the record of after the first day, first show of this movie. So just how many people watched the first day, first show of this movie, it beat the record of most amount of tickets sold in an hour after it. Because this movie doesn't need marketing. This movie doesn't need all the pan-India. It doesn't need
reviews,
all the interviews or anything like that. All it needed was word of mouth.
Yeah, sorry, that's what I meant. I didn't mean no reviews.
No.
I meant, yeah, you're right. It will be word of mouth, like, for this film, 100%. You know?
Because I got home, I messaged my sister, I messaged my friend Nandana. I was like, watch it. And these guys were waiting to watch it in OTT. And I was like, no, go watch it. No. And I feel like if I'm doing that, there are so many other people that are spreading awareness of this movie word of mouth, because this movie actually flew under the radar for a lot of people. Not a lot of people knew that it was even coming out.
Yeah, but
it's going to make money. Obviously, it's not going to make as much money as Empuran. You can't compare.
No, yeah, fair enough.
But it'll make.
Yeah, because going back to like how you know Mohanlal now, like I think how we've been talking about him, hyping him up, but I think he's operating on a different level today, like even for his age, right? How old is he? Like
60 63
okay.
65.
Okay,
65.
But like he is literally operating, and like I said, for someone to give two films which have been like the best films, I would say, for me in 2025, is so rare. Like no actor can do it. And I think for me, where he stands out, I'm not going to comment now on any other actor, but Mohanlal, it comes across, he does not do it for money. He does the films for the love of cinema, and that's what stands him apart. You can tell you can tell he does not do certain films for money, you know.
But I feel like that is sort of attributing to his downfall at a lot of times, because Mohanlal, as someone that's like an industry titan, has been in the industry for God knows how many years, has his loyalties towards certain directors, towards certain people in the industry. So there are movies that he tends to do that is sort of like helping out his friends. And you know what? Like that's sometimes why the movie doesn't do so well. Tharun Moorthy is I think he's only done 3 movies before this, relatively new director. All I want and all people should sort of aim is to want Mohanlal to give younger directors a chance, right? And then secondly, for newer directors, or just like the same directors, but like just come with more stories that actually utilize who he is as an actor, which I feel like it just doesn't happen. And the reason why he's able to come out with 2 movies like this is because like a lot of it is a testament to how near and dear he is to the Malayalam cinema audience, right? Like if he comes out with a flop, they're still going to watch the next one. because it's Mohanlal. They always have that like little expectation that he could come out and give us a movie like this.
Yeah.
So that's why we mentioned this before. Shah Rukh Khan took a huge gap after like a string of flops, and he just wasn't seen for years because like he couldn't deal with the backlash of like, I don't know if that's why, but he did say that he wasn't able to like deliver like the movies that he was used to. But this one, one film flops, okay, I'll work on the next one. And you're right. Yeah. The only reason you can do that is A, a forgiving audience, B, love a cinema.
If you love it, like, if you're willing to put your like heart, soul, whatever, like honestly, like it's just mental. Like, even like, let's just talk about it now, because we mentioned one kind of actor reference, but there was actually quite a few references, and it didn't take away from the film, because even right from the start, he mentions Kamal Hassan, Mammootty. He mentions Rajni Khan, right? Yeah. And he actually mentions himself. It's like Mohanlal as well. It's like it's in that time frame, which is just funny to hear another actor mention himself, because they don't really do that. And he's like Mohanlal, like he just mentions, and he's like, and then there's that frame of pictures where are those real pictures? They must not be like made up. They must be old pictures of his. I think
so. The one of him and Mammootty specifically is not made up. I'm pretty sure I've seen that one before. Old ones of him and Shobana, I think there was a couple that were legit and a couple that were AI. But like it was easy to do because they've both been like paired opposite each other previously, so it was like easy to like put them together and everything.
And there's the one with Kamal and stuff, and then there was another reference to Vikram, right? The son, and I think this is where the generation difference came into this film, right? Which was kind of cool. The son's friend was like, "Oh, you took a picture with Kamal Hassan," and then he was like, "Oh yeah, during Vikram," and his son jumped straight away and he's like, "Oh yeah, is it the Lokesh film?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "No, it's the one in like 1980s, the original one." And I was like, someone actually, an Uber driver actually told me about the original one a while, like on the Wednesday before after dance.
Yeah.
He was just saying, like there's actually one before that, and then that straight away after he said that came to my head, and I was like, oh damn, like that was another reference. And the Mammootty hook step, the knee
oh my god, how good was that? Even that, right? Like, because he does the step twice,
but he doesn't do it with everyone. It's only until he goes
until he's alone and he's like, and like it's little things like that. Like, it reminds me of every fun Mallu uncle I've ever known. Like, it's like that kind of vibe. He just like emulates that. Yeah. It's crazy.
And then I think the big one that no one had no clue about, I mean, we didn't have any clue about any of the references, but the Vijay Sethupathi playing the original dad. Did they show him at the funeral? Like, was there an actual video they used?
No, it was a photo.
But like during a scene, was there not like a little scene of him? I don't know. I feel like they might have towards the end.
No, I think it was just that photo. So it was Mohanlal, Vijay Sethupathi, Shobana. Like, that was in the photo. And it didn't click immediately that it was. And then I was like, wait a minute.
Like, they must have asked him for it, and he was like, he must have been like, yeah, sure. Like,
yeah, of course.
No one ever would have seen like that coming. I mean, the references were just...
There was small little like cameos like that, whether it be through photos or even like Arjun Ashokan. He was... do you remember that guy that was wearing a red jumper? He was a red shirt and he was like leaning on the car. It was at the wedding.
At the wedding. And it was like, what are you doing? Like, get off the car.
So like that, Arjun Ashokan was there. I believe Kalpana was like the mum. It was like at George's wife. Okay. I'm pretty sure it was.
And there was the actor house he went to, the son of the actor. You know when he goes looking for the other guy?
Son of the actor.
You know when they go and try and find the other guy for the drugs?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they're like, oh, it's the dad. The dad's a famous actor or something. You know when they go on the door?
Yeah, I know. But which actor was he talking about?
He just mentioned the actor and his name, but you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I know what you mean, but I forgot which
actor. That was...
See who the person on the photo was. Hold on. Oh, yes. So it was Kalpana as like the picture on the wall for George's wife. And then who else was there? Yeah, Mammootty as himself, Kamal Hassan as himself. Vijay Sethupathi, Arjun Ashokan. There was like, and the thing is, the trailer so much focused on Mohanlal and Shobana. I don't think I even remember seeing the villain in the trailer.
No, there wasn't. It just is like light-hearted, and then there's that little like quick montage of little clips, dun 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 dun. But I think from the trailer, I would just say it was like about the car getting taken by the police, and
like Maharaja vibe. That's what I thought like it was going to be.
And then yeah, I think that's where it got. That's where it was. But like when we went to the cinema, when I went to watch it, it was kind of busy, kind of not. There was a few people, but some people were cheering. But then for me, I clapped twice during this film. One, when he jumps out that window from the prison, I was just like, that scene was just the style and stuff. And then for me, where it was at the end. I just thought I had to clap for this film, like no matter what. And you know what? I don't think I was the only one clapping. There was a few other people clapping at the end. There's maybe only a short applause, but to get a few people to clap at the end, not many films can do that.
Yeah, dude. And there was sorry, before I forget, one of my favorite scenes was when he was in the police car and George is like talking to him from outside the police car, and you can just see like it's like a circle in the I don't know if you remember the scene. In the window of the car, it's just a circle. Mohanlal's facing straight ahead. George says something and he just shifts his eyes. And all you can see through the circle
And don't they show the eyes or something in the camera?
Purely just his eyes.
I think I know. I'm not 100% sure though, but
I think it's probably the same one. And you can see like the anger in his eyes. And that's why they say Mohanlal acts with his eyes. And you can see like that all, like you couldn't even see the rest of his face. You could just see his eyes.
Yeah, like
so good.
Like, how was your cinema experience? Like,
really good. It was a packed out theater.
Really?
Yeah, it was packed out. Not a lot of clap. Like, I didn't have a lot of clapping. I don't know. Maybe it's just a Croydon thing, to be honest. Like, it wasn't a lot of. Even with Emperor, like, I didn't have that many like claps or cheers. People definitely did, but it wasn't like.
Yeah, even for us, it wasn't a lot. But I think just at the end when people, just a few of us just.
But like that jumping out scene, got a few
pops.
claps. And then when he first came on, he got a few claps. Yeah, dude, I like literally I watched it on Friday night. I've been trying to think about what I can say about this movie, and
it's just the same kind of things. Like, it's brilliant. It's amazing.
Brilliant.
And like honestly, I feel like you have to watch this in the cinema. Like, just anyone, don't wait for it to come out on OTT because you will be impressed. I mean, yeah, that's what I can say because. Like, I had goosebumps. I think there were just some goosebumps moments, and then it was like you just felt it. You just felt it, and it's just like especially after Emperor, and like this is
the Emperor that we deserve.
I mean, I enjoyed Emperor.
Prithviraj needs to take notes.
Well, hopefully for the third one. Yeah, but I think, but then you might be like in the sense why you didn't give it a 10 or whatever. You might not be the only one that would think that, I think. Maybe people will compare it to Dhrisyam. They will straight away think, like, that's where, they might
Dhrisyam is God tier.
I think this is I think this is as well.
This is so close. Like, I've been oscillating between it, like, because, like, haven't been able to get the story out of my head either. Like, since I watched it, I've just been, like, replaying, like, different moments in my head. And I've been oscillating with equal to Dhrisyam, just below Dhrisyam, equal to Dhrisyam, just below. Like, it's not like I know for a fact that it's as good as Dhrisyam. But I think this is the sort of genre that Mohanlal needs to
do more of. Yeah, the more kind of... Like, there was a bit of masala to it, obviously, the action.
Yeah.
And stuff, but it was not, like, overkill or anything.
It's every corner of the world.
Yeah, it made
like,
sense.
It was simple. Like, it was simple. Like, how he was, who his character was, what he was wearing, all of that was simple. It doesn't need, and he doesn't need, all that to perform.
And, yeah, you're right. And I think for me, April has been the best month for Indian cinema so far? Because okay, we've had Thudarum, great film, but then for me, I've seen Good, Bad, Ugly, Jat, Kesari Chapter 2. This April has definitely been like the best month because there's been quite a lot of like good films now. Yeah, even Kesari 2, like very story driven, right? But yeah, like this just tops it off. And then next month we've got like
What do we have next?
Hit Free, but we're getting it a day earlier in the evening.
Yeah.
So Nani's film, Retro, Surya's film.
Oh.
And Vijay Deverakonda's film Kingdom.
Okay.
I'm missing it. There's a Hindi film Raid 2, but 3 of them all released on the 1st of May.
So you're gonna be in the movies.
So I'm gonna watch 2 of them. Hit 3 I'm going to watch on the 3rd. Thank God we got get it a day earlier here in the UK earlier.
Why
so
do you get a day like a?
I don't know if it's just premiere shows. Like maybe it's just like premiere shows.
Yeah.
So Cinema will do that, right?
Yeah.
So I watched that on 30th and then Retro 1st of May. I think other than those 4 films, I don't know if there's anything else. But then there's a big gap. So for like the 1st of May.
Yeah.
And then the kind of end of May, which will be interesting. But other than that, like just going off this film, like you said the budget was 20, right? 28. So according to this website I'm on now, so in India alone, it's taken 14.21 crore already. And worldwide 16.6. So they'll make it in like... Today's Sunday, so let's see if it grows. And then Monday, Tuesday, it's got time. It's got until the next big film turns out. But like
it's the first time that I've seen such polarizingly positive like reviews for a movie as well. Like sometimes you get your 5 stars and then you get like 1 stars. I have barely seen anyone that's hated the movie.
I don't think you can hate this film. Like
I don't think so either.
I mean, everyone has their own opinions and stuff, but I don't think you can hate like it's hot. No, there's not. They won't give you a chance to hate it. There's no way they will give you.
You come to me and you tell me I hate it. I'll be like, okay, here's like 5 reasons why.
Oh, God.
You shouldn't hate it.
Don't. Oh my God! If someone says they don't like it, then I don't know how. Like, give us a reason why.
You have to give us a reason why.
You can't.
And let us try and fight it.
Yeah, justify. See, were you right there? Were you wrong there? Or like, nah, I don't agree with you there because.
But like, look, that's the thing with cinema. Everyone's gonna have their opinion.
Exactly, that's valid. Yeah.
And like, the positive opinion is just as relevant and important as the negative opinion.
Exactly.
But like, you can't. You can't
everyone,
change someone's mind.
Exactly. Like people might not like it. But I doubt it. Like just for me, I don't know.
But I saw a lot of reviews because I only looked at all the reviews and stuff after I watched it. But a lot of people were like, I'm a through and through Moorthy fan, and like I've brought this up before, right? How like Moorthy fans and Mohanlal fans sometimes beef.
You said they'll fight like to the death.
But the amount of people I've seen going, I'm a through and through Moorthy fan. But the way this movie...
I thought you were going to catch me off guard there. I thought like they're just doing it to be spiteful, yeah?
No, you're good. They were just like, wow. And that's just it if you want to see the performance of a lifetime.
That's even going back to the whole decade thing. In terms of now performance of the film, yeah, I think it's top of the deck. Like,
let's be very clear
before,
now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think
in the 2020s.
Yeah, that's what I meant by decade. Yeah.
Let's not touching on any previous.
No, not lifetime, but 2020s. Is there a standout performance where I thought
something similar to this?
Just in general,
so Lucifer was 2019.
Any acting performance that was like in the 2020s. I don't know. It's not coming to me. Like Vicky Kaushal in Java was good, but I don't think it comes close to this. But that was this year.
I thought Prithviraj and Arjivatham.
Oh yeah, but that is completely different. Close. That was like that body transformation was like,
Mammootty in Brahmayugam.
Okay.
So those are both of them last year is what I can remember off the top of my head now. You need to watch it. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to think. Is there any other actor that's given? When did Mark Antony? But that's a villain role, so I don't know if I would want to put SJ Surya in this. But then his perform. But I don't think.
No, but also like shout out Prakash Varma. Can we just say that really quickly? Like the villain from this movie.
Oh yeah.
Who has never acted before. He's just
Which
been
one,
doing,
George?
Yeah.
Has he never? Whoa.
No. He's just a director for ad films.
Damn.
So
that's mental.
Again, shout out to Malayalam cinema
Yeah.
for putting out like lesser known actors.
Yeah. At least
giving
they do
them a
that.
chance because what a villain.
no nepo kids.
No,
Sorry
no,
guys.
okay, sorry.
But I'm saying, yeah, like I'm just trying to still think acting. I don't think out of the 2020s, out of the films I've seen, I don't think there's been one that's been like this thrilling, this gripping, this good.
Yeah. Maharaja. I gotta still say Maharaja as well. Like Vijay Sethupathi in Maharaja.
Yeah, no one's coming up.
I can only think of 2024 movies. So
yeah, even going back to 2020, I mean, we had KGF 2, we had Triple R.
But those again,
But
not
Masala,
it's not the same kind of vibe, right?
But even in general, like, yeah, I think Mohanlal's given like he has to win the award for this. Actually, maybe, but Sai Pallavi in Amaran comes close, maybe potentially.
Yeah, I see that.
Like she'll have to get the award for that, and Mohanlal has to get the award for this. It's basically what I'm trying to say. Like, it's how it.
I guess we'll see.
And I think this is what Indian cinema should be. They should be able to deliver this content a lot more, because this type of thriller stuff, do you get it from anywhere else? I mean, you had Maharaja, you're right, from Tamil cinema. But other than that,
I feel like the sort of movies that we're getting with this sort of message just over relies on the whole, I think I've mentioned this, sexual violence against women, sexual violence against children. This, though there's like little aspects of that, it's not what forms the crux of the story. It's there, but it's not
the main. Yeah, it's not the main bulk of the story, right? They've just added little bits of like attacking, like police attacking and stuff.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, for the love of God, anyone that thinks about remaking this film, do not even try it. I'm sorry. You people like to copy Mohanlal's films, yeah? Mani Chitrataram, Dhrisyam, and just...
Dude, Ajay Devgan's actually probably in talks
cheering
to do this movie as we speak. The ones that are worse for remaking, Ajay Devgan, Akshay Kumar. If I swear to God, if it's one of those, I'm going to be pissed. But also, I don't think, like Dhrisyam, they can ever recreate this.
No, they can't, because we have come to a point. It's 2025. You know, remakes should stop. Yeah, like, don't you dare basically think about remaking this like masterpiece. Basically.
And I feel like the director actually needs to have a hard stance with this. Like, I get it. Like, there's probably a lot of money in it for you, but gatekeep it a little bit.
But it will never be as good as this. No way.
Gatekeep it. He needs to gatekeep it.